A recent high school graduate, homeschooled in Hopewell, recently published a children's book focusing on the lives of a homeschooling family.
Our showcase features videographer Brad Vassar sat down with the author to find out more about the inspiration behind the Harpers homeschool.
The Harpers were a normal family, almost. They lived in a quiet town in a pretty blue house. Their yard was green and mostly neat, besides the occasional bicycle or baseball bat. The Harpers had 4 very sweet children who all looked similar, but were very different from one another.
When people think of homeschoolers, and sometimes rightly so, they kind of think that they're all like sitting, they all wear their pajamas all day, you know, they are all super nerdy, and a lot of us are, but you know, we are a little normal sometimes. I am Ava Studer, and I am an author. When I write my books and stuff, I try, and sometimes I'm not successful, but I try to always have the story come first and then sort of the message. And, you know, obviously I think it'd be awesome if everyone was homeschooled, but I mean, not everyone's going to be. So I wanted to really make it just a fun book to read, whether you're homeschooled or private schooled or public schooled, or if you've been both, you know. It is a fiction book, but I would say that it is largely based off of different homeschooling families that I've met in my own homeschooling experience.
There was Esther, who had just turned 10, and Joshua, who was 8. Matthew was 6, and Ruthie was almost 5.
I've been homeschooled since preschool, so I guess that's about like 12 years. I guess that's, yeah, like 12 years. I think that's, or like 11 or 12 years, somewhere in there. Growing up, I mean, I've read a lot of books and a lot of picture books, and I've never really come across a book about homeschooling. So I thought that, you know, since there's quite a few people who are homeschoolers, that seemed like a good idea to write a kid's book, because, you know, I am homeschooled, and there's definitely a need for homeschooling or books about people who homeschool for kids to read. But this is my first kid's book, definitely, that I've written and gotten to be self-published. It's about a young homeschooling family that's about average, with an average amount of kids for a homeschooling family. And they are wondering why exactly their parents made the decision to homeschool them instead of sending them to public school.
Dad and Mom didn't seem as surprised as the kids expected.
If you're writing a book about homeschooling, it's pretty easy to write about homeschooling while you're doing it. I'm much older than the characters in my book, but I could definitely remember when I was in that phase of homeschooling and what it was all about. And I can remember taking field trips and stuff like they do in the book, and going different places and doing different stuff. And really, looking back on it, it felt like I had a lot of schoolwork to do, but I mean, even like up into middle school, I had quite a lot of free time on my hands, and a lot of time outside and a lot of time playing and all of that, which is, seems like they do a lot of that in the book as well. I was always more interested in writing and reading and all of that, and because I was homeschooled, I was able to really spend quite a lot of time reading and writing, and it was really good because I got to read a lot. I got to ask a lot of questions, and I really got to write a lot. Not always the best writing, but I got to write a lot, and I got to learn about a lot of stuff that was really interesting to me, and I got to do it with the best teachers because I know them really well. It was actually my mom first who first suggested that I write a book about homeschooling, because she's like, you know, that's would be filling a need that, you know, there is out there for books on homeschooling and more of the public media. And then they really encouraged me throughout. I mean, basically throughout my whole life, that, you know, like, you really have a gift with words and with writing, you know, you should really pursue that. Even when I was really nervous about doing certain things, they really pushed me to really pursue writing, because that is definitely a God-given gift right there. I think that probably some of the best things about being homeschooled is, you know, you don't have to share your teacher with, you know, 20 plus other students, and you really get to, you know your teacher really, if it's your mom, your teacher really knows you and knows what exactly you need, and all of the, you know, you can do all of the things you'd like to do, and you can finish, so most of the time you can finish earlier, and, you know, you get to pursue the sort of things that you'd like to do. And if you're ahead in some subjects or behind in some subjects, you can, tailor that to, what exactly you need. I mean, being able to really pursue what you're passionate about and being able to grow in that can help you, gain confidence and all of that. And being really grounded in what you believe in, I think, can also help you when you're going out and meeting new people and just going to new experiences and all of that. I think that, confidence is definitely something that you learn sometimes. Sometimes you have to fail sometimes to really know to learn like what you can do better and to learn, that you can do something, even if you're super nervous about it. And that is the story of my life, I would say. Homeschooling is fun, and there are really hard parts about it that are, sometimes when you're around the same people all the time, sometimes they drive you crazy. But I think also it's really, with all of the craziness and the chaotic and the crying over math, I think that it's really like rewarding. And also I just wanted to let kids see really good books, and hopefully they're really good. We'll see.
Our mom and dad homeschool us so we can learn cool things we like and can spend more time together.
And I'm just trying to reach as many people as I can. Every kid is born with some level of genius inside of them, and it's just a matter of finding what exactly it is. Just trying to figure out what am I interested in and what are the gifts that I've been given and that I want to pursue in my life, and just trying to figure out what is the best way to get there.
The Harpers may not have gone to school like other kids or gotten new school things every year, but they loved being homeschooled. They didn't mind if people thought they were odd, if it meant having the freedom to enjoy learning.
The end.